I'm Janice Abel, Principal Analyst with ARC Advisory Group, with a podcast on how companies are using Seeq analytics to transform process manufacturing and supply chain data, and how industrial operations are using this technology to optimize production. I'm here today with Morgan Bowling, who is the Senior Analytics Engineer at Seeq, and she will discuss Seeq's analytics technology and how companies are using their technologies to improve operational efficiencies and how this is important for the digital transformation. Hi, Morgan. It's great to have you with us today.
Thank you, Janice. As always, it's always great to be here.
We're really excited to learn more about Seeq, advanced analytics, and what they are doing to transform industry. Could you tell the audience a little about yourself, your background, and about what the Seeq folks are doing for the people listening today who may not be familiar with Seeq, the technology, and the company?
Definitely. I'll start with a little bit about myself. As you mentioned, I am a senior analytics engineer at Seeq Corporation. Before joining Seeq, I did spend 6 years working at ExxonMobil in both supply chain logistics as well as refining and petrochemical manufacturing. So I'm actually a chemical engineer by study. As far as Seeq, we are an advanced analytics application for process manufacturing. We have customers in oil and gas, petrochemicals, food and beverage, pharmaceuticals, utilities. The list really goes on. The way I like to put it is the reality is if you have a historian with data in it, it's likely that you could get some benefits from deploying Seeq. A fun fact about us as a company is that we've actually always been a completely virtual remote company. So we've spent a lot of time over the last year helping our customers effectively transition to distributed and remote operations.
And we have seen a lot of remote connected workers this past year due to the pandemic. So when ARC first started working with Seeq, it was probably about 5 or 6 years ago. I remember they had 4 employees. And jumping forward today, there's just around 200 employees. So I understand revenue has been doubling every year over the past few years. So why do you think Seeq has had such a rapid growth? And really, what differentiates Seeq from other analytic companies?
You know, this is something that I think about a lot. And I would generally say that first off, I would be remiss if I didn't start with the fact that our team from top to bottom is remarkable. If we look at our top level executive leadership, they come from places such as Microsoft, Honeywell, OSIsoft, and they truly understand the challenges of time series data, but also enterprise software. The other advantage that we have is because we are completely remote, we're able to hire a world-class team that can be located anywhere. That includes analytics engineers like myself who have domain expertise from industry, but we also combine that with an amazing software engineering team who's developed a very innovative product for us. In terms of what I think is differentiated from other analytics company is that our ability to rapidly pivot to our customers' needs has really accelerated our growth. And what I mean by that is we started with our foundational advanced analytics tool, which was Seeq Workbench. And that is a tool where subject matter experts can explore their data in detail using Seeq's calculation engine. But then we were working with our customers and we heard that there was a real need and a real gap for an enterprise-wide reporting tool. So we went away and we developed Organizer Topic. Organizer Topic is our application that now allows teams to create reports and monitoring dashboards for use across all levels of their organization. The next thing we heard was data scientists needed a way to access the pre-contextualized data from subject matter experts to help operationalize machine learning and rapid scale out. So again, we went away and we built Seeq Data Lab, which provides this audience an open Jupyter environment. The most recent example of this is Seeq Cortex, which bridges the OT and IT gaps in an organization. And Cortex allows end users to be connected to their data in an architecture that meets IT's security needs. So I would say whatever problem our customers bring us, we're always waiting and ready to go innovate and find a solution to that need that they have.
So what do you think are some of Seeq's key differentiators? Could you tell us a little about the top three differentiators?
Definitely. Differentiation in our business is so important. When we go into meetings and we're talking to CIOs or digital transformation officers, we have to be able to very quickly articulate why they should choose Seeq over so many other advanced analytics and machine learning tools out there. And for us, we think it's pretty easy to boil down to three key points. The first, I would say, is democratization of the innovation. In our case, that's of the insights in the data. So we're not only enabling engineers, but we're enabling control room operators, maintenance technicians, the whole plant to gain insights from their data. And once they have those insights, they can share it with the rest of their organization, which actually shifts teams towards making data-driven decisions that optimize business outcomes. The second differentiator that we talk about a lot is time to insights. And for me, this one's very near and dear to my heart. Our goal when we install with a customer isn't to be a part of a multi-year implementation where people aren't using the software or gaining value from it for months or even years. What we want to do is start adding value to the bottom line from the day that Seeq is installed at that client. So we enable our engineers with out-of-the-box analytical tools that can automate their ability to search for insights. And not only do we accelerate their time to insight, but we also work with teams to offer an innovative way to capture and share those insights, creating cross-team understanding. And the last thing that we focus on a lot is supporting a sustainable analytics lifecycle.
Could you elaborate a little on what you mean by a sustainable analytics lifecycle?
Yeah, so when we work with customers, our goal is to not always have to be there with our hands on the keyboard delivering the analytics. We actually want to train your team to run with Seeq on their own. And we do this by supporting a robust cycle of iteration that drives analytics that move businesses forward. We do this by starting fast, like I mentioned, but we also encourage people to think in circles, not in straight lines. And what I mean by this is encouraging rapid continuous improvement with your analytics discoveries. The other part of this is ensuring that your team is built for whatever the future holds. So if that's a migration to the cloud or a rapid scale out to thousands of assets, we want to make sure that you know that the Seeq application is there to support that journey over the long haul.
Analytics requires a lot of data. Could you tell the audience a little about some of the challenges and how Seeq is able to handle the volume of data?
Yeah, this is one of my favorite questions that we talk about in terms of data. I think it's such an interesting point. And the way I like to view analytics is actually that it doesn't require a ton of data, because we know from studies by companies such as McKinsey that our customers have tons of data. They actually have too much data. But what's truly important is taking all of that data, masses and masses and years worth of data, and finding the few key important pieces of data needed to solve that mystery. So when we work with customers, it's actually not uncommon for us to connect to over 100 different data sources. This could be cloud sources, plant historians, SQL databases, other custom databases. And we do this using Seeq Cortex Layer, which can be hosted either in the cloud on Azure or AWS or on premise. And so now we've connected our subject matter experts to all of that data. But what Seeq really offers is data accessibility to everything they need in one spot. I would say it's important to note that at Seeq, we don't actually move or duplicate any of the data from the system of record. We just index it, which allows for quick on-demand retrieval, no matter where our users are. They could be in the office, at home, on their mobile device, or in the field on a tablet. Once we're connected to the data, that's when Seeq starts seamlessly solving a lot of data challenges related to time series data without users really ever even knowing. So those are things like aligning data from different data sources and matching timestamps.
So the digital transformation really, I think it's all about the data, and I always say this, and the analytics and what you do with the data. So how you make database decisions and the value you get from the data. So what are some of the challenges that you're solving with Seeq?
The first one I would say is data accessibility. So connecting the end user to all of their data, no matter where it is, in a way that fits the organization's security needs. So once we're able to access our data, then what Seeq provides are analytics tools to find insights. And when you're in Seeq, you'll notice that we have a spectrum of tools. So we have point and click, or what I like to call self-guided, self-directed tools, to more advanced customizable Seeq formula, all the way over to that open Jupyter environment for finding context and meaning in the data. Once our subject matter experts have found meaning in the data or insights, they move on to visualizing that in innovative ways. So we not only offer flexible time series trending, but we have a wide variety of other options, including scatter plots, density plots, tables, tree maps across assets, as well as capsule and chain views. And this allows teams to really pick the visualization that makes the most impact for the analysis that they're working on. And then lastly, once they've chosen how to visualize the data, we provide collaboration tools. And this, to me, is the most important challenge that we're helping organizations solve, in my opinion, because it enhances transparency and collaboration across the team. And this is all done with Seeq's organizer and journal functionalities. And I really can't underestimate the value of having everyone be able to look at the same data in the same application and using that to drive meaningful decisions for plant operations.
I think that's really important too. But ARC believes that the digital transformation is more strategic for operations to implement than ever. So what trends are you seeing, and what are you doing to address the digital transformation?
The first big trend we're seeing is undisputedly the move to the cloud. As we know, I think we all know this, process industries can be historically slow to adapting to new things and new technology. But from our perspective, if the pandemic did one thing for software and technology, I would say is that it rapidly accelerated everyone's move to the cloud. At Seeq, we've been recommending Seeq SaaS, either on Azure or AWS, like I mentioned, for some time. But for many of our customers, that time is now. And in my opinion, the main driver behind this was actually data accessibility. So we were working with customers that had teams that were now working from home, and with their traditional deployments of on-premise architectures, they were struggling just to access their data. And once they could access their data, the performance was abysmal. So we rapidly worked with our solutions architect and many customers to migrate their deployments from on-premise to Seeq SaaS in the cloud so that users could provide operations support needed from their homes. What's funny about that is the next kind of logical question after the cloud is, well, now we've been monitoring remotely for over a year. Should we be doing this all the time? And even before the pandemic, there was already a trend towards remote operations centers, but we're seeing this accelerate even further now. And what people are realizing is if they can monitor the plant or their wells from home, do they really need to have distributed monitoring at every site? Or could this monitoring be consolidated into a remote operations center that might actually free up engineers to work on things such as plant debottleneck? The last thing I would just point out here is as people move towards those remote operations centers, they want the ability to monitor at scale. So now that we've moved to the cloud and we see the scalability options available to us, and as we consolidate into remote operations centers, those operations centers want to be able to monitor not just 1 or 10 pieces of equipment, but they want to be able to monitor a whole global fleet. So the last thing I would say that we're kind of seeing in terms of trends is asset performance monitoring at scale across whole enterprises.
Seen more use cases from Seeq in manufacturing and operations than any other analytics company. Could you tell us a little more about where Seeq is being used, like what types of applications and industries, or could you talk a little about some of the use cases?
Definitely. So like I mentioned earlier, Seeq is actually industry agnostic. So we have customers across almost every manufacturing vertical you can think of. Oil and gas, petrochemicals, pharmaceuticals, life sciences, cement, you name it, we have customers in it. But when we talk about use cases, I like to put them into three main categories. And those are focusing around sustainability, reliability, and production. When we talk about sustainability, we work with our customers on a wide range of use cases. So this could be as simple as automating their regulatory reporting, but all the way to something more complex, like we recently hosted a hackathon with Microsoft where plant historian data was combined with satellite data using Seeq to identify and quantify, and also in the future, predict and prevent methane emissions. So we find sustainability to be one of the hottest areas of innovation, both for ourselves and for our customers right now. If we talk about reliability, our customers are always consistently looking to deploy predictive maintenance techniques. And they want to do this either to determine when maintenance may be needed, but more importantly, to prevent failures from happening. And the way I see this area is it actually doesn't matter so much what type of equipment you're monitoring, but the approach and methodology for the anomaly detection, which triggers the warning, is the same. So we work with customers to deploy reliability models across all different types of assets. That could be pumps, valves, heat exchangers, reactors, you name it, and people are looking to deploy predictive maintenance. The last one is just around production. So obviously, as manufacturing plants, customers are always looking to make higher quality production. And oftentimes this starts with something like loss tracking or overall equipment effectiveness to understand where the losses are. But once the losses are identified, then they want to drill into other use cases to identify areas where they can prevent those losses. So really our users span a wide variety of different use cases they're trying to solve. And it just depends on their expertise as well as the challenges that they're facing at their particular plant.
So what I see is that sustainability, reliability, and production are all very important when it comes to advanced analytics and data. But the one that gets me is sustainability, because that was the benefit that I was glad was not forgotten about, especially during the pandemic. So I'm glad that Seeq is also paying attention to that. And so what are the users of Seeq seeing for value?
Yeah, I would say the value our users gain from Seeq starts at the most basic level, from time optimization for them, so making their daily tasks quicker and easier. And we literally work with users who have Excel-based reports that used to take them 4 hours to open and run, but now they have an organizer topic with no time required. So where the real value is, well, what can they now do with that extra 4 hours? I've seen all kinds of different things, and this is actually one of the most fun parts of my job, is working with customers to achieve and define this value. We've got some customers who optimized, say they're in the petrochemical industry, their reactor grade transitions by building a predictive model in Seeq, which saved them over $1 million a year. We have one engineer who did a detailed analysis of a production schedule to minimize downtime and off-spec production. And this enabled them to creep capacity of their plant by 10%, which saved over $5 million a year. Another company we worked with deployed one of those remote operations centers for compressor monitoring, and they're now enabled to predict compressor failures before they happen. And each one of those events that they prevent is worth $2 million. So I would say the value users are finding from Seeq starts at the foundation of a workforce productivity tool, so making our users more productive. But that can go all the way to the other end of a whole fleet monitoring solution that has structurally changed the way that companies monitor for anomalies and failures in their equipment.
So we're definitely seeing that ROI is definitely a winner in these applications. And if you had a crystal ball, what do you see as the future for advanced analytics in Seeq? And how can people and companies that are listening today to this podcast get some additional information? What would be the next steps?
Definitely. So first and foremost, I would just say cloud. It's not going away, and organizations have to adapt to cloud as being the way of doing things because it's going to make them more effective. Secondly, I would say scale. So I think we're going to keep working on scale and helping our customers do more faster. As far as Seeq, I think that for us, the sky is truly the limit. It's been a lot of fun working here, and I think we have something special. So you won't be seeing us go away anytime soon. I think we'll keep working to grow more, and you'll see us deploying across more enterprises in all of our manufacturing verticals. As far as if you're looking to find more information about myself or Seeq, you can find myself, Morgan Bowling, and Seeq Corporation on LinkedIn. But if you have detailed questions, we would love to hear from you at info@seeq.com. And remember, that is info@seeq.com. So thank you so much for the time today, Janice. As usual, it's so much fun to get to do this, and I hope that we can talk about something else in the future.
Yeah, that would be great. I think that's really all about what we have time for today. And to our audience for listening today, thank you very much. And thank you to Morgan for giving this insightful interview. I'm sure there's a lot of manufacturers and supply chain folks out there interested in Seeq because it really is all about performance and the value that companies are able to achieve from the technology. And that was Morgan Bowling of Seeq, who's discussed how advanced analytic technologies are transforming industry. If you would like more information on this topic or on more specific topics, please take a look at the ARC website, www.arcweb.com, and also the Seeq website, www.seeq.com. So thank you again.